Hello, my love, and welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coach podcast. Your host here, Michelle Hext. Today, I want to introduce you to my framework, which is called the Premium Pathway. Doesn't it sound fabulous? Doesn't it just roll off your tongue? When those words came together for me, the angels started singing because that's exactly what it is. It is a pathway for becoming a premium high ticket coach, charging what you're worth, working with the best of the best, and making sure that everything within your business feels premium and worthy of the price tag that you will be charging. So let's jump into it. The first core pillar for the premium pathway is becoming the high ticket coach. Most people have got to do a little bit of inner work alongside the work that we do with regard to creating high ticket offers, building sales systems, and all of those other strategic pieces that need to come into play to build a high ticket business. And so this becoming component is really important. It's about identity shift. It's about this level up in the perception that you have of yourself so that you feel really comfortable stepping into that high ticket space, or if you're already there, taking it up another notch. So the becoming part is the mindset work. It's about clearing any of those internal blocks and leading from a place of true power and alignment. Because when you are there, when you're really feeling yourself, when you really understand you are the prize and that anything you create from a place of feeling aligned and powerful is going to be magical. You can't create high ticket offers if you are still playing in a low ticket mindset. You can't do that. So there's got to be this internal shift that takes place. You've got to see yourself differently. You've got to consciously step into that next level version of yourself. Because if you can't do that, if you're not doing the work to integrate this new level identity, then any success that we create is going to be short-lived. I've seen this over and over and over again over the years. So really important. And this is not one of those things where it's like, okay, I have to get my identity in place first. I have to be the person first. I mean, I'll come back to that, but it's like before you do anything else, right? You can't go on a quest for the next 5 years of your life to step into this new level identity and then come back and do your business, because you won't have a business. It will be dead in the water. So this is something that you've got to get used to and comfortable with doing in tandem with the other work that you do. So yeah, every day you've got to make a conscious choice. Today I'm going to be the woman. Today I'm going to be the coach or the leader in my space who shows up and does the thing, right? So please do not get into this trap where you feel like I've got to work on myself first and then I will do the work. You have to get comfortable doing both side by side. I have been doing this my whole career because you have these quantum leaps, and if you aren't integrating, and I'm speaking from experience, if you are not integrating the identity shift that is taking place, if you can't catch up with if you internally can't catch up with the results that you're creating, it'll be short-lived. It's not to say that it will never come back. It's my experience in those early years, especially where I'd have these massive quantum leaps. And then I'd go months where things were just not the way that I expected them to go. I expected it to be better and better and better. But because my internal thermostat hadn't caught up with this newfound level of success, I sabotaged things. And it wasn't an intentional thing, obviously. That's what the subconscious is, right? We're doing things subconsciously. We're not often aware of our patterns. But as soon as I became aware of this pattern, it was like, oh, I see what's happening here. I'm having these massive wins and I have not given myself the time to acclimatize to that. And so instead, so what it felt like was I would have this quantum leap and then I would realize that things weren't going to plan after that because some internal fuckery was going on. And then I'd still keep pushing to try to get to the next level and the next level, even though my feet weren't firmly underneath me in that moment. And so now I know when I have a quantum leap, when I have these big wins, I have to give myself a couple of days to just acclimatize, to adjust, to let my identity catch up so that I can say, okay, we're here now. What's next? And that doesn't need to take days. It can take a moment. It doesn't need to take years, right? But I think the core message that I want you to take from this is that please do not get into the trap of feeling like you have to fix yourself first and then you get to go and create the thing, because this is an ongoing process. It's constant. It's like marketing, right? Marketing will shift and change, and you'll have things that have worked for you for a long time that suddenly don't work for a period of time. They may work again, but right now they're not working. So we can't, as entrepreneurs, just take our foot off the gas entirely and just expect that things are going to remain the same if we don't put in the work. Now, I'm not saying the work is heavy or that we're out there digging ditches or exhausting ourselves, but we just need to have this energetic check-in every day. Who am I? Where am I going? What do I want? What do I need to think? What do I need to believe to achieve that next thing? All really important things, all right? So you get to work on yourself in tandem with working on your business. It's not we do this first and then we do the next thing. Okay, so the second core pillar is your premium offer. Really important to uncover your sweet spot. Your sweet spot, what do I mean by that? It's who you are at your most powerful, delivering an outcome that feels second nature to you because it's just so innately you. It's something you've been doing for a while. You don't even really need to think about it. It's just so easy for you to produce results. So you're not laboring over it. You don't have to tackle things like identity. What is that thing called? I can never think of it. Where you feel like a fraud. Oh, you know what I'm saying. I just can never bloody remember the name of it. But it's where you feel like you're putting on a front, right? You don't have to do that. It's going to like niggle in my ear until I come up with it, but you'll know what I'm talking about. And so that is going to niggle at you. It's like, who am I to do this? Who am I to do that? Who am I? I feel like I'm being too big for my boots to say I can achieve this outcome or whatever, right? It's going to make you unsettled. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to make you anxious. It's going to make you feel like you're a fraud, right? And the internet, even if you are not being a fraud, the internet is going to pick up on your energy, and the energy is not quite right. It's like there's something not quite right. You have felt a woman who is in her full power, right? Fully powerful, fully aligned. We feel it, right? And we've also felt, maybe not necessarily where we've been, paying attention to other coaches and you're like, oh, something's not quite right. Maybe it's not that, but it's just they're not jumping out at you. They're just not compelling you to go and read their content, watch their videos, all of those things, because there's something missing, right? And so you have to be in your sweet spot. You have to know what that sweet spot is so that we can package that, so that we can monetize that, and so that it is an offer that you get to go out there into the world and sell feeling really confident with. You can't sell offers without confidence and expect to get the right people. So, because you'll be begging for the internet. You'll be like, please buy my stuff, instead of you would be freaking mad not to buy this program or enroll in this mastermind. You would be insane because the value is there. The results are there. You need to be bulletproof in your conviction around the offer. And if you're not, then you've got to do some work. That offer can only come from you knowing what your sweet spot is. So we've got to figure out what that is first. And then we get to figure out, okay, your sweet spot is solving this problem for these people. Now we develop our framework, and then we develop the offer, so that you have everything in place to feel very, very comfortable to go out there and not just sell the offer, but to deliver an outstanding result. So this is a foundational piece. This is do not pass go until we've done this work. And a lot of you will have done this. You'll have bypassed this. It's close enough. It's good enough. I think, it's okay. It'll be okay. And then you go out there and you start making noise on the internet and you're wondering why people aren't paying attention. And this is exactly why. It's because that conviction isn't there. The passion and the power isn't there behind the offer and behind the messaging that follows the offer. All right, so that is the second foundational piece, the signature offer. The third piece is this authority positioning. And again, when you've got your sweet spot, when you know what your sweet spot is, and you've got this premium offer in place, you get to dial up your authority. So you stop chasing and start leading. This is where you become the one in your niche. And so authority positioning is easy, right? It's easy to be an authority when you're in your sweet spot, when you have an offer that you absolutely know is going to solve a very pressing problem for someone in your market. It's very easy. So if you're struggling with content, if you're struggling with messaging, if messaging feels hard for you, that's probably because you're going to be struggling to figure out, what am I going to say today? What do I need to say? And that's because those other two parts aren't locked in. If you are fully in your identity as the authority in this space and you have a premium offer that is smack bang in the middle of your sweet spot and solves a very pressing problem, it's easy to go out there and talk on the internet all the long lived day about what it is that you do, because it's all there for you to talk about. All roads will lead back there. There is not going to be a thought that you have that pertains to your business or even outside of it in life. You are not going to have anything that doesn't lead back to your sweet spot, because it's your sweet spot. This is how we're positioning you. So that's why that's really important. All right. Next, we're going to talk about precision messaging. So these two go together a little bit, right? So I guess the authority positioning is more about, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. This is what I stand for. This is the market I serve. It's kind of that, if you look at it as a hierarchy, it's you standing on top of the stage, right? Or standing on top of the mountain. It's you with, this is who I am. People come to me for this. And then this precision messaging is, well, it's where your words finally match the power of what it is that you deliver. So this is where you cut through the noise and you start to craft a message that converts consistently and positions you powerfully. It's one of these, this is where the content flows. So the authority positioning is who you are. The precision messaging is what you say, right? And so these four things make up the core pillars of all of the work that I do, making sure that the coach that I'm working with is all in on this identity. I am this person. This is who I am. This is, feeling good about who you are, knowing that you are unique, knowing that you are special, knowing that you are the prize, knowing that you are powerful, knowing that you have so much to bring to the internet. Then having that offer that is a byproduct of you being in your sweet spot, positioning yourself in the market really powerfully, and then having the content, having the words to be able to articulate what it is that you do and how you do it. And then from there, once those foundational pieces are in place, it's about building out a bespoke sales system. Content is one of the things that we get to do because we love it, because most of us are messengers of some type, right? If you are a leader, and most of the people that I work with are, you've got a lot of things to say, right? So you get to create content, you get to write books, you get to launch podcasts, you get to do whatever it is that you want to do content-wise, because that's just part of the fun. For me, that's, the most enjoyable part of my business. And your messaging and all of that social content and emails and podcasts and books and all the things are all going to draw people to you. They are all going to work as assets for your business, right? But what we want is a bespoke sales system, so that if you decide that you don't want to be showing up every day on the internet, if you only want to show up, a couple of times a month, you have that option, because we're building a sales system that is elegant, tailored specifically for the client journey, that makes your clients feel seen, understood, ready to buy, and it's bespoke to you. I say that I want my clients' sales systems to feel as good as the offers themselves. There's often a disconnect between when somebody has this amazing, beautiful product, and then it comes time to sell it, and then they do really weird, random shit, right? They host challenges that have nothing to do with the actual offer. They create freebies that have nothing to do. They're often a distraction from selling the main thing. And so I don't want you feeling like you need to build out 15 funnels. I want you to have one signature bespoke sales system that does the work for you, that brings new people into your world, that introduces them to your way of doing things and getting them to know and like you and trust you, and then ultimately convert to become a client, whether it's, through that initial funnel that they go through, or whether it's through you nurturing them for the next 2 years and then they become clients. So when we build a bespoke sales system, we're creating an elegant and luxury tailored client journey that your clients, potential clients, are never going to forget, right? You are always going to be in the back of their mind. If they are not in the financial position, or if they've just signed up with another coach and they've committed for 12 months and then they've got, they stumble across you, then now is not the time, right? But that doesn't mean that that's not a sale. That doesn't mean that that person won't become a client. They'll become a client down the track sometime when they're ready with when they're done with the commitment that they already are committed to right now. And so this bespoke sales system is going to do all the heavy lifting. We leverage paid traffic. We leverage paid traffic because it speeds things up, or we can slow things down, or it will amplify things, right? So if you've been doing organic content, even with we can build out this bespoke sales system, and you can be testing it on your current audience organically before we pay to point traffic at it. Or you may just build a beautiful big audience that you move people through this sales system because that's the first point of contact that you have with you. There are so many different ways that we can do this. And I want you to know, though, that building a system is going to be the thing that takes you from feast and famine, from being, a six-figure earner to being a multi-six-figure earner, a seven-figure earner. That's going to be the difference, because reinventing the wheel every month and struggling and hustling to try and find clients will take you out of your power. Because when you are running around the internet, inverted commas, trying to find clients, that's not a powerful position. A powerful position is when you create a bespoke sales system that says everything that you need to say to somebody that comes into your world, you let that do the heavy lifting, and then people come to you. That is how we do things. That is how we want to build our systems. All right. And then the next pillar of the premium pathway is your luxury brand presence. This is your visual and energetic brand that's going to reflect that premium positioning. This, again, isn't a separate step, but it's something that we thread through everything. So over the years, my brand has evolved so much. And I don't do a complete everything stops, got to rebrand everything, got to go through every single page of my website, got to change every post on my social media. No, we don't need to do that. You are a personal brand, or most of the people that I work with are a personal brand. And if you are a personal brand, you are going to change and evolve, right? You are the person behind the personal brand. And so you are going to grow and evolve and expand and do all of those beautiful, amazing things. And your brand is going to come along for the ride. It's going to evolve alongside you. And so let that happen. If I stopped every time, I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to change my visuals. I think I've outgrown this look now. I'm ready for another level. If I stopped everything every time I did that, it would just be a disaster. You don't need to do that. You can start making changes and playing around with things. And over time, and you may experience this already, but if you've been in business for a long time, you'll see that the tweaks aren't very big anymore. Like the changes aren't very big anymore. So my website, for example, right now has the colors are black and gold and white, and there's this kind of taupey beige color. And the imagery might change a little bit in terms of the banner images and things like that, but I'm not going to change the color code. So I'm not suddenly going to go and have an orange and green and pink website where everything needs to change. But you can do that anyway, right? You can go into your website settings and change them pretty quickly. But don't make the rebrand a big deal unless you want to use it strategically as a relaunch because you've been pretty quiet anyway and you're not really doing a lot and you want to come out of the gate strong. That's fine. But if you're already up and running and you're, working with clients and you're running your programs and things like that, and you're ready to just really level up, you can do that. People are going to notice, and that's great. We want them to notice, but it doesn't have to be a huge deal. But we do need to make sure that our visuals are a reflection of our luxury brand, if that is what we're choosing. So most of the people that I work with we're in the premium space, right? So even if it's not traditionally premium looking as far as like the gold and the black and the white and things like that, even if your colors are bright pink and gray and white or whatever, it's still got to have a premium feel because the internet demands more, right? And aside from that, we are drawn to beautiful imagery, the imagery and visuals that make us feel something. We're drawn to that. And it's not that any one of these things is going to be the thing that makes or breaks your business, but together, combined, when we bring all of these things together, this is what makes a brand that sparkles like champagne and is very appealing to people and hits like tequila because it is impactful and it has a lot of depth, right? So the brand presence is about you. It's how you are showing. It's so many things, but it's not going to be something that you have to labor too hard over because, again, it's an extension of you. It's an evolution of what you're already doing. So don't make it a big deal. All right. And probably the strongest core pillar, the one that sets me apart from probably many of the other coaches that I know in my space, is that we focus on monthly recurring revenue. So in my world, we sell one product that typically pays us for 12 months. And so every single sale is worth a significant amount of money every year. Every mastermind client that comes into my world is, to me, worth 50,000 Australian dollars. That is every one client. And very rarely these days do people pay up front. I have, maybe used to be about 20%. It's a little bit less now. And most people will go on the monthly payment plan, which is what I want. My programs are designed for that because I want people paying monthly because that creates so much predictability and reliability in my revenue. That's how I like things to be. And so you've got these, this focus on products that generate long-term revenue. And we also, this is probably a pillar that I should put in here, but it's about doing more with less. So I don't want 100 clients on my books. I don't need 100 clients on my books. And that's not what I'm shooting for. I like to work with fewer people so that I can deliver an outstanding result. And for me, the money that is generated from my monthly recurring revenue products, it's enough, right? How much money does somebody need? And so, excuse me, I'm going to pause for a sec. Okay, so I'm not about, I know that my mastermind will be capped at 24. That is the capacity for me. That's, having done this for decades now and worked with people over this long period of time, I know that 24 is a comfortable number for me where I feel like everybody is taken care of. And I also know that I'm not going to be run ragged. I know that this is a very comfortable pace for me. And so my mastermind is the way that it's set up is to enroll 2 clients a month over 12 months. It will be at capacity, within a certain amount of time, and then it stays at capacity. And I'm not going to take on 50 because 50 people want to come into the mastermind. That's not going to be how it rolls. It's like 24 is the number, and that's it. And so I don't have FOMO. I won't have FOMO if more people want to come in. Should I just add a few more spots? That's not how I roll. As I mentioned before, I have my little coughing fit. For me, it's not about more for the sake of more. How much, this is going to be a side rant, okay? I have no problem with people making a lot of money. I like making a lot of money. I like my clients making a lot of money. But when money becomes sport and it becomes more important than, if that financial figure becomes more important than the people you're serving, that's a problem for me. And I don't know many people who have had those mass, 10, 20, $30 million wins over time. I don't know many of them who are still able to service at the same level that they were able to before. Yeah, they might have like higher ticket offers where they have, maybe an inner circle where there's 10 people in there and they get that same level, but all the masses underneath don't get that same level. And that's a model that a lot of people aspire to, and I love that for them. But for me, I like my eyes on my people's businesses because I want to see what's going on, because I care deeply about results and making sure that my people are enjoying the process as well, because being an entrepreneur is stressful. I want them to remember that, hey, this is fun. Remember, this is something that you choose to do. And if you're not having fun, we've got to figure out why you're not having fun, because that's going to kill your business. Like, we've got to get you having fun and enjoying this and feeling really powerful, because when you do that, your business is going to thrive. And so, yeah, so I think it's a complete aside, but for me, it's like, I'm not about chasing huge numbers just for the sake of saying I've chased huge numbers. It doesn't do that for me. It actually brings stress into my world, because I want to make sure people are being taken care of. And yes, there's arguments for, well, you can hire a team and blah, 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 but I don't need a team, and I like it that way. And if I had 50 people on the mastermind, I probably would need a team, and then I would stop enjoying my life again. So you've got to do what works for you. So just remember that your version of success gets to be just that, your version of success. It doesn't need to be what other people are telling you success needs to look like. It's got to look like your version of success. So please do not chase anyone else's version of success. Check in with yourself. What would feel really good for me? And then, know where you want to go ultimately, but be really comfortable with the next step. You know what I mean? So when my clients come into the mastermind and they launch their own masterminds, my focus for them usually is on getting those first 4 sales. And we do that reasonably quickly because that gives them breathing space. It gives them the opportunity to go, oh, yeah, okay, cool. I've got this monthly recurring revenue coming in. I've got breathing space. I can do a really good job of onboarding my clients. And then they get to bring them in slower like I do. So anyway, aside from that, let's go through those 7 core pillars again, just briefly. So the first one is becoming the high ticket coach. So it's that identity shift around being that person, and you get to do that in tandem with everything else we do. Step 2 is your sweet spot first, and then that premium signature offer that gets to be developed as a byproduct of you working in your sweet spot. Authority positioning, showing up online and letting the world know this is who you are, this is what you're here to do, this is what you stand for. And then the precision messaging, which is, what are the things that you say? What are the words that match the power of what you deliver so that you can serve a community and draw the right people into you? Then the next one is the bespoke sales system. So building a system so you are not operating from a place of disempowerment, which is when you're running around the internet trying to chase sales. You want to be in a position of power, and you get to do that by having a system that does all of that heavy lifting for you. Number 6 is that luxury brand presence. So making sure that your whole brand looks and feels in keeping with the positioning and the price that you are charging these days. And then, of course, the theme that goes underneath all of this is we are creating monthly recurring revenue so that we feel safe and comfortable in our businesses, knowing that money is being generated every single month, whether you make a sale that month or not, because the months that you've sold previously are still going to support you. So that is the premium pathway. And pretty soon I'm going to put all of this into a book for you, like a PDF, and you'll be able to access it on the podcast. So get excited about that. I should have that for you later this week. Before I go, remember that the premium pathway is my mastermind. This is the way that we work with inside the mastermind. We spend 12 months creating all of these pieces, these foundational pieces, and then we go out there, we put it into action, we tweak it, and we make changes if we need to until we get it working. All right, that is it. I will let you go, and I will see you on next week's episode. Thank you so much for listening. See you then. Bye.